Then we have shortest job first scheduling. Now this is quite not very implementable type of scheduling, because this says that if we have these processes P1, now this is executing, then P2, P3, P4, we will try to find out which of them is having the shortest time to complete. How to find that? This is a difficulty. This is very difficult to know in advance that which of them is going to be completed first. How to anticipate? How to anticipate, right? And if at all the time are same, then we'll apply the first come first service. So this SJF can't be implemented at the level of short-term scheduling, because there is no way to know the length of the CPU burst. How to anticipate? How to find out that who is going to be completed first? But let us try to predict the length of the next CPU burst. There are various ways. So the SJF can be either preemptive or non-preemptive. As we said that for FIFO, first come first serve is non-preemptive. We established that. SJF can be preemptive, it can be non-preemptive. Preemptive and non-preemptive means, preemptive means if a process P1 is running and P2 or P3 comes and this has shorter time than P1, P1 will be taken out. It will be taken out and P2 will be given chance, whichever is less. And this is just knowing that this is the shortest remaining time first, because if the time remaining for P1 is lesser than P2 and P3, P1 will be allowed to complete. Otherwise, P2 will be taken. In non-preemptive SJF, the current place or current process is allowed to finish its CPU burst, then only P2 and P3 will be catered. As we just saw, it is very ideal. So it has a minimum average waiting time for the set of processes. Let us take an example. First of all, this P1 has come. This arrival time is very important. The arrival time. It has arrived at 0 and burst time is 7. So when P1 has come, no one is there. So P1 will be allocated. This is non-preemptive, so it cannot be preemptive. It will go up till 7. After that, because till 7 all has come. See, this P4 has already arrived because it has come at 5. But the P1 has completed till 7, so all have arrived. Now for the next sequence, we will see whichever is having the less time, or which will be doing or executing in lesser time. P3. So we'll take P3. It will take one time. This is done. Now again we'll see which one has to be taken. 4, 4. Which one is less? Because both are same. So we'll go with the first come first serve. So we'll take P2. It will complete for 4. Now all this is complete. This is complete. All are complete. Only P4 is remaining. P4 will be given the chance. So the average waiting time for P1 is 0. P3 is 7. And P2 is, no, not 7. See, P3 has got the execution or the CPU time at 7. But P3 has arrived just at 4. So 7 minus 4. 3 will be the time for P3. P1 is 0. Now how about this P2? P2 has come at 2 and it has got time at 8. So 8 minus 2, that is 6. So this is the time. How about P4? P4 has arrived at 5. Where it was being taken, P4 was taken at 12. So you have to subtract 12 and 7. Right? So you get 12 and this subtraction, because 12 minus 5. So you get what? You get 7. You get 7. So these are all the time, because you have to subtract the arrival time also. So 0 plus 6 plus 3 plus 7 by 4 is 4. This is the average waiting time. Now let us come to the preemptive time. Now P1, because there is no one, so P1 will be given chance. It has completed till 2, but by the time P2 has arrived, now this is having a shorter time than this. What is the remaining? 7 minus 2. So the burst time is 5. Its time is 4. So which will be taken? 4. P2 will be given chance. It will go up to 2. But by the time it has gone for 2 unit of time, P3 has come. And it has lesser time. Because 4 minus 2 is 2. And this is 1. So 2 and 1, which is lower? 1. So P3 will be given chance. After that, what will happen? Now because P2 is having a lesser time than others. 4 5 2, which is having lesser 2, so P2 will be given chance. Then after that, because now this has a lesser time, 4 and 5, so this will be given chance 4. So the uh, you can say that P1 will be taken last because it has the largest time which is remaining. P1 will come here, it will be completed. And I just discussed how to find the waiting time, because we have to find out the waiting time with the, this is the average waiting time, this will be this, which is equal to 3. And we see this is better, SJF preemptive is better. How to determine the length of the next CPU burst? You can estimate it. There are various things, like this can be done using the length of previous CPU burst, like this was the previous CPU burst. You can use the exponential averaging like this, and you can guess the time. Okay, if it has taken this much time previously, what it is going to take in the next. This is how it can be implemented.